friends, happy Friday. Happy Friday. I hope you're having a great Friday today. It is Friday, February 19th. We're on the 19th day of February, and I've got two really good books. Since it's snowing, I thought we would start with this Megan and Jim sled trip. Yeah, we've gotten a lot of snow out here. Let's look at this. Meg and Jim snow trip. Meg and Jim and Mom and Dad sit snug in their den as the wind gusts and the snow drifts outside. At last, the wind and snow stop. The sun is out and a blanket of snow is on top of the land. Beautiful pictures. Meg and Jim get dressed to sled. They put on their snow pants and jackets, and they put on their mittens and hats too. Okay, so they're getting ready. They drag their red sleds past the elm tree to the top of the big sled hill. Get set, go, yells Jim as he jumps in his sled. Meg jumps in her sled too. Their sleds go fast down the hill. When they stop, Meg and Jim jump up and run back to the top. Their red sleds zigzag on the snow as they drag them up the hill. On the next trip, Jim jumps in the back of Meg's sled. The sled goes faster and faster until it spins and hits a big snowdrift. The sled jumps and lands with a bump. And dumps Meg and Jim in the soft snow. Meg and Jim have snow on their hats and on their jackets. They have snow down their necks and in their mittens. Ooh, they took a tumble. Up and down they go until they have to rest. Meg and Jim sit on top of the hill. The sun glints on the trees that are dusted with wind-swept snow. Isn't that beautiful? Meg and Jim drag their sleds back past the elm tree. When they get in, they undress and hang their jackets and snow pants on the pegs. They put their wet hats and mittens on the rack. Meg and Jim and Mom and Dad snack on muffins and sip mugs of hot drinks. Meg and Jim tell Mom and Dad about their sled runs and the jumps and bumps. What fun! Meg and Jim had fun in the snow. Yeah, the snow is beautiful out there today, too. That was a great book. That was called Meg and Jim's Sled Trip. Well, I have another book I wanted to look at with you all. This is an older book, and it's on pandas. I saw this book, and I wanted to share it. Let's look at this. Ooh, look at the pictures. In a mountain forest on southwestern China, a giant panda sits in a birch tree. Oh, do you see the panda on there? Yeah, right there. It kind of blends in, huh? There's the panda. Snowflakes fall on her black and white fur, but she does not look for shelter. She's comfortable in the snow. She has lived in snow most of her life. Early one autumn, she found a den in a rocky mountainside. There she made a nest out of broken bamboo stalks. While frosty winds blew through the forest, she gave birth to her own cub. The cub was so tiny she could easily be covered by one of her mother's paws. She weighed only 5 ounces. She was smaller than a kitten, but she had a loud voice that sounded like a baby's cry. Oh, there's the baby panda right there. And you know what? This is just a fun fact. Compared to the size of a panda, pandas have some of the smallest babies in the world compared to their mother's size. Very interesting. Okay, let's find out more about the baby panda. The cub had just a thin covering of white fur. Only her mother's warmth kept her alive. Day and night, the mother panda held her cub tightly against her large, warm body. She never put her down. So there's the mother panda with her baby right there. For several days, the mother panda stayed in the den and nursed her cub. Eventually, she had to eat. So that's her inside the den right there. Carefully, she looked outside. She sniffed the chilly air and she listened to the sounds of the forest. Then, carrying her cub in one paw, she left the den. She did not have far to go for food. Still cradling her cub, she ate some of the bamboo that grew all around her. Yeah, pandas eat bamboo. Soon the cub began to look like her mother. Let's look at this. Here's the cub when she's the youngest, then a little bit older, and a little bit older still. By the time she was 1 month old, she had a soft, thick coat of black and white fur. She could not crawl yet, but she could roll around a little. Now her mother could leave her for a short time. Before she left, the mother panda always put her in a hidden place. At the cub's first cry, she hurried back to soothe her by stroking her with her paw. Oh, you see right there how the mother panda's hidden her? The cub grew quickly. At 2 months, she weighed 7 pounds, 20 times more than when she was born. Her voice was softer now, a kind of bleating sound. The mother panda played with her, tossing her gently between her paws. At this time, the cub's eyes had been closed. She lived in a world of sounds and smells. She could not hear her mother's heart beating. She could smell her and feel her warmth, but she could not see her. At 2.5 months, her eyes opened and she began to see the world around her. Let's find out what happens. She saw bamboo growing in tall thickets that stayed green all winter. There were spruce, birch, and maple trees. Sometimes a golden monkey swung on the branches. There's her neighbor, a golden monkey. He lives in the same types of forest. Birds flew overhead, and the little mouse and the nuthatch and the laughing thrush. So these are little animals that live around Panda. At 3 months, she was able to crawl. Now she could explore the world on her own. Often, while her mother slept, the cub sniffed over everything she could find. Okay, see her sniffing right there? And there's the little mouse friend. The cub did not spend all of her time exploring. Sometimes she just played. In the spring, the cub was 5 months old and still lived on her mother's milk. She weighed 20 pounds. One day, while her mother was eating bamboo, the cub nibbled a leaf. That's her first time trying bamboo. She crunched a thin shoot with her milk teeth. As her jaws became stronger, she ate bigger and bigger stalks. Her mother could eat woody stalks an inch and a half thick. The mother liked to eat some leaves first. Holding the stalk, she let herself fall slowly backwards. How fun. The mother panda ate 20 pounds of bamboo every day. Giant pandas have special linings in their throats and stomachs to protect them. They can even swallow splinters without being hurt. Summer came, and to escape the heat, the cub and her mother went up to the cool meadows above the forest. In the meadows, they ate irises and crocuses, vines, and tufted grasses. A panda has a special bone in its wrist that works like a thumb, so it can pick things up with a very delicate grasp. Now the cub was able to take care of herself, but she stayed with her mother a while longer. She kept growing and getting stronger, and when she was a year old, she weighed 80 pounds. Her coat became very wiry, and she lost her milk teeth and grew large permanent teeth. Then she went off to live on her own. But she was not alone. In the forest, raccoon-like animals called red pandas watched her from their nest. So these look like raccoons, but they're called red pandas. And they watched our panda friend growing up and exploring. Pheasants flapped out of her way, and falcons tramped past her. She learned to catch mice and birds, which she sometimes ate. Yeah, but pandas primarily just eat bamboo. She was not afraid of any animals but the snow leopards and the wild dog. Honey from a beehive of a mountain farmer was a special treat. She could get it only when she was really looking for it. We see the bees right there. It's a rare treat. Her roly-poly walk was not very fast or graceful, but with her short, powerful legs, she could go through the thickest forest. The pads of her feet were covered with hair, giving her a good grip on the steepest icy mountainsides. She could even swim a mountain stream if she had to. How interesting. She did most of her roaming in twilight or darkness. She slept for a while before dawn and again in the afternoon when the sun was high. And that's her right there. And that's the end. Yeah, the end. And that was a book on pandas. I learned quite a bit in that. I didn't know very much about pandas, but that was very interesting. Well, I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you all again Monday. Bye, friends. See you later.